Yo, what is up? Almost exactly 2 years ago to the day, and one of the first mouse that I reviewed was a VGN Dragonfly F1, and here we are back again with another VGN. This is called the Y2. Now the box came like this. I did take a peek at it, but I'm opening for the first time right now. Well, more or less the first time. I did take a peek at it, but this is essentially the first time I'm taking a look at it. It slides out just like the original Dragonfly, a little drawer mechanism down here, and it reveals the mouse immediately. It comes with some paper on the top. It looks like baking paper on top, and here we go. This is the VGN Y2, and I got the one that's called the Ultra, and there's two versions of the Ultra. One is with a 500 milliamp battery. This one is a 250 milliamp battery, which means it is slightly lighter. Now I haven't actually seen what a dongle looks like, so I'm also curious to see what kind of dongle did they provide this time. So the same setup as the old Dragonfly. What else does it have in here? Some grip tape, some extra skates. That's nice. This grip tape is pretty generic, but it's actually pretty good. I just don't like the design on it, but other than that, it's a pretty good quality. It's actually a lot like the Razer ones, which is kind of like a diamond shape. But there is the dongle. Let's pull it out because we're gonna need that. And pretty soft cable, not as soft as what you'd expect from a pulsar, but pretty serviceable, pretty good. Let's put everything aside and just focus on the mouse. Here we go. So this is the Y2, pretty nice color, Omron Opticals, if I'm not mistaken. Supposed to be 41 plus minus 2 grams. Let's weigh it out and check it out. This is what shape is this? NPO1S shape. So we've got it at 44.7 grams, which is pretty light actually. So happens that I have an NPO1S, and let's check out the weight difference. 56 grams versus 45 grams, so almost 10 grams lighter than the NPO1S V2. But in the hand, I'm going to be honest with you, this is a larger NPO1S. Let's take a look at the side profile. You can see that the VGN version is going to be slightly bigger, slightly taller. The hump is slightly more back. There is some semblance of shape difference, but you really visually, yes, it does look kind of similar, but in the hand it is completely different. There is not a lot of similarity. I mean, there is a similarity in the hand, but it is actually, I would say it's a different mouse. I can't say it's super close to a NPO1S. It's not fair to compare the two. If I have to compare the quality, you can immediately tell in the hands the NPO1S is just a cut above. It does feel like it is more expensive, which it is. The VGN Y2 Ultra is only, I think, $40 odd. I think I paid about $45 for it from AliExpress. The NPO1S is of course $139. However, if you do like this kind of shape, NPO1S, and you want it slightly bigger, it has a more aggressive hump at the back here compared to the NPO1S, so it does feel like it's pushing up way behind here, a bit like the Skyrox V8. You know how aggressive that hump is pushing into your palm. It's actually pretty good for my hand. Now, for context, the NP01S for my hand feels a little bit on the small side. It feels like the OP1 kind of size. So it is usable. I can use it for a long time. It is pretty nice, but for day-to-day use, I'm gonna say it's a little bit too small for my large hands. If my hands was smaller, if my hands was 19 or a 20, I'd be pretty comfortable with the NP01S. But I feel like for long-term usage, productivity and stuff, spending the whole day with this, I would much rather have the XEV2, which is my perfect size. I love this size so much. And the NP01S V2, however, feels a little bit on the smaller side. But if I wanted something bigger but still want to hold on to that NP01S kind of asymmetric shape, I would consider the VGN Y2. This is an incredible feeling mouse. Actually, I'm really glad I checked out this mouse, because if you're familiar with Skyrock's V8, V6 or Lamzu Inca, you're getting that Omron Opticals with that very familiar click feel that is prevalent with all these Omron Optical lightweight mice that are around the 40 plus grams. You know, the Skyrock's V6, the V8, the Lamzu Inca, Lamzu Paro. You can feel this same click feel. Let me give you a sound test. Very nice, actually. I really like it very much. Plus, it is tri-mode, which means you've got Bluetooth connectivity, you've got 2.4G, and you've got wired mode. DPI button as well, so you can toggle DPI right on the mouse. But yeah, this is actually a very surprisingly comfortable shape for my bigger hands. Now, if I had smaller hands, I'm not too sure if this will work. But like I was mentioning, the NP01S is just a smidgen too small, and this is just a smidgen, just nice for my hand. So this size is actually what is the advantage that I feel it has over the NP01S. Click feels, Omron Opticals, you can't really fault it for anything. Side buttons are a bit of a letdown compared to the Omron Opticals that you are hearing. So if you're used to clicking to the Omron Opticals, wow, fantastic feeling. And then when you press the side buttons, it's like, oh man, it's not balanced. When I say it's not balanced, I mean because the Omrons are just so nice and crispy to click on, and then these M4 and M5s are just a little bit lackluster. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They're great to use. They are serviceable. They have a nice, you know, they work fine. They function well. But that compared to this is a lot of difference. They need to up their game on the side buttons, because the M1s and M2s are just so nice. The VGN dongle, the same dongle they've used for a long time now. I don't really like the silver logo on the blue screen printed, I suppose, on the blue dongle. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's a very, I feel like it's going to rub off over time, which probably it will. That's what happens to all the VGN dragonflies that they have printed at the back of the mouse. But anyway, that is my unbox video for the VGN Y2. If you're going to pick it up for $45, I think this is a smoking deal. It's really nice in the hand. If you want a soft ergo, if you want an asymmetric, but you don't want a large ergo, you want a you know, an OP1WE, you want an NP01S that is slightly more aggressive right there. Let's measure the grip width and compare the two so that you can have a an idea of how different they are. 55.38 is on the VGN, and it is almost completely identical. 55.21, just 0.1 millimeter difference in terms of grip width. Let's talk about the grip height on the main trigger. MPO1S is about 20.5. On the VGN is on the VGN is 23.7. So on the VGN you're getting higher triggers by 2 millimeters. Yeah, I can feel it. Higher triggers by 2 millimeters, and on the mouse 2, 21.38, 22.89. So you're getting about 2 millimeter higher triggers, M1 and M2s, and on the middle of the mouse, MPO1S is measuring 37.2, and on the MPO1S the highest point should be somewhere around there, 38.85. So you're getting a pretty aggressive hump on the VGN Y2. Is it called the Y2? Yes, it is called the Y2 Ultra, 250 milliamp battery. Again, let's do the weight again. 44.5, really lightweight. This is lighter than the Maya X. This is about the same weight as a regular Maya, so it is a pretty light mouse for this size, and very nice feel. There's a little bit of wobbly, there's a little bit of movement there, but nothing that is squeaking at the moment. Just from the unbox, there's nothing going on there. Feels pretty nice. Yeah, that is the VGN. Hope you enjoyed this unbox, and we'll revisit this mouse later on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.